Lately, back with another video. Insecure Season 2, Episode 6, Hella Blows. You'll pick up on this in a few. Anyway, the shows open up with Issa pretty much waking up. She has to move her car. Apparently, the block she lives on, she cannot park on a certain side of the street in the morning, or her car will be towed. So she pretty much, move it to get it across the street so she can avoid a ticket. The car is pretty much toe up from the accident. The front end is smashed in. The back bumper is hanging. So yeah, we moved from there to Molly. Molly is in her office working late, and Dro calls, and the conversation is kind of awkward because Molly done slept with Dro now, but she does not, know what to do, and it's kind of awkward. She said, "Well, don't you believe it's weird that we had sex?" And she whispered when she was saying it, and Dro was like, "Well, whispering doesn't clear the fact that, it doesn't change the fact we had sex." Her mom ends up calling her, and she tells Dro she has to go, but she ends up avoiding her mother's call. Issa is texting Daniel. She hadn't got a response, and she goes into her imaginary state because she saw that neighbor babe was at home. So she goes into her, imagination state. She's getting dressed. She's putting on makeup. She's talking about going to take this, what. And I got to keep it clean, folks, because YouTube have gave me some type of warning about my language last time. So I got to keep it clean. So she's pretty much saying she going to go and take neighbor babe, getting dolled up and everything. She goes over there to his house unannounced, and then he said, he was like, "Did I text you to come over here? Did I call you, or did I text you to come over here?" And she said no, and then all of a sudden she hear a voice saying, "Ed, what's his name, Eddie or something? Where's the charger?" I don't know if it was Eddie or Carlos or Charles or whoever. And she said, "Where's the his lady company was saying, where is the phone charger?" And then he was like, he got a female over. So of course, I knew something was up because he didn't act like he was happy to see Issa. Now that he kept the door kind of closed. So neighbor babe got a classmate over, and it's a wrap. So of course Issa won't be able to come in. Daniel texts Issa back, and he was pretty much telling her he's working late. He got a studio session. So apparently Issa's not giving no loving tonight. Lawrence had just wrapped up his presentation about his Woohoo Act, and the bosses or the owners was pretty much giving him some feedback, and he thought it went well. Molly was saying, Molly is wondering how can her and Dro still maintain the friendship they have had throughout these years now that they had sex. Her and Molly was at an auto shop. Molly and Issa was at the auto shop. Issa's pretty much trying to get an estimate on her car so it could get fixed. The man came back, and he pretty much told Issa that it's going to be a few weeks before the car could get fixed. And with parts and labor, it's going to be $5,500. And Issa was like, yeah, I'm pretty much poor. Yeah. So Issa don't have the money to fix the car. So what I'm thinking is Issa kind of probably depended on Lawrence to be at the apartment, because although he wasn't working, he still was collecting unemployment. I really believe she probably was leaning on him to help with some of the bills and expenses. And now that they've broken up, everything's falling up, on her. Issa is saying that, this rotation thing she got going on is not working. She thought, she could just get these men to do whatever she want her to do on call. Lawrence asked his co-worker, the girl, how did he feel like the presentation went. She said pretty much what he got going on is nice, but it's outdated. And the business leaders did not seem like they were interested. So she might, You know, she told him that anything he should change for the presentation, she said you need to lower your expectations. Because pretty much Woohoo is not all that we thought it's cracked up to be. So Molly meets up with Dro. They decide to get together at like a bar and watch the game. And, you know, she's pretty much trying to, you know, tell Dro this is weird. This didn't supposed to take place. And they end up having sex again. So yeah, Issa meets up with Latino Bay. Remember Latino Bay from last week? They had their first date. It went well. So I think Issa's just really in the mood to have some type of sex. So she's trying to get it by any means necessary. So Latino Bay comes over. She opens up the door. She got this real short skirt on. She got like, you know, this sweater that's kind of low cut to show her bra. She even pulls down the bra even more. And she was just telling him that she was waiting on a skirt. And, you know, because, you know, for her to put on. He was pretty much saying that skirt is fine. And then she's trying to rush him on the couch. And he said, you know, we really should be getting, you know, going to dinner. And she rushed him on the couch. She's trying to feed him wine. And all of a sudden she goes in for the kill like she want to have sex. Latino Bay stopped her. He was just saying, you know, I would like to go ahead and go to dinner. You know, I don't want to rush things. He said, I actually really like you, and I wish we just, you know, go ahead and take things slow. And then Issa was like, oh. And he was like, you know, so you don't want to go to dinner? And she kind of like flagged him off, and he decides to leave. So here, this is a guy who, you know, was trying to be genuine and take things slow and get to know Issa, and Issa is not one. And Issa is trying to, in reality, to me, she's trying to hide her emotions, and she wants to she wants to do this rotation stuff, but the rotation stuff is not, it's not what she thought it was gonna be. So Dro and Molly is laying in the bed. It's the aftermath of their encounter, and she was just saying, you know, asking him questions on how does this open relation thing work. And he was saying like it was his wife's idea. And then he was like, what else do you want to know? What do you want to do? And they end up having sex again. So Lawrence was following up with the bosses to see, you know, how they thought of the presentation. And they really did not seem interested. And they kind of beat around the bush. And then they talked about his shoes, asked about his shoes again. And they was just saying they would like to, you know, see Lawrence 2.0. And they want to see Lawrence 2.0, and they want to see what else he could come up with. So in other words, they saying pretty much nix that woohoo deal, because, yeah, that woohoo idea, because it ain't no good. So they pretty much just told him it's a wrap, Lawrence, on that. Issa and Issa and the girls go to this sex explosion. I think it was just like an adult, you know, fantasy entertainment type of conference. And Molly is picking up like samples of the items, and everybody looking at her like, well, who is that for? You know, but keep in mind, they all don't know. I don't believe the girls know outside of Issa that Molly slept with Dro. I think Issa's the only one knows. So the other girls, Kelly and Tiffany, they do not know. Tiffany wants them to sign up to take an oral class. I'll just leave it there. She's saying that that's why she's married. That's why dudes are going after Becky's, because Becky's are, you know, not afraid to, you know, conduct oral activities. And, you know, there was just, Issa was saying she was not into it. Kelly, them, and Molly was like kind of just, you know, saying that's not their thing. But, you know, Tiffany was really encouraging them to maybe embrace it, because, you know, it would give them the power if they embrace all activities. Molly is still not talking to her mom. Her mom's been calling. Her mom's been texting. Her mom's been sending voicemail. She still is avoiding her mom. Lawrence was talking to his co-worker, and he was pretty much telling her, she was right. They really didn't like the idea in so many words. They was, asking him more questions about his shoes and where they got them from versus what he can do. And she was saying like she had an app that would have been similar to Uber and Lyft called Drive By, and she had to nix it. But she said something like sometimes you got to get rid of the old to make room for the new. So it's just like the way she said it was just something that stuck into his head. And, pretty much she was telling him, back to the drawing board, try again. Daniel is finally hanging with Issa. He has her listen to some of the music he's working on. And then, Daniel surprised Issa with, her favorite wine. And, she convinced him to try it. He said it's actually not bad. And then, they jump in to do what they do. And, Issa was like, no, I want to try something. So Issa attempts to perform or activity on Daniel. And, Molly is with Dro. They're having an intimate moment. They, I guess, got a room. They order food and just join a hot bathtub soak. So Dro gets a text from his wife. And he was like, got to go. And he was like, my wife locked herself out. But he was like, you can stay. We ordered food and the room is paid for. And then Molly was like, damn, got to deal with this. So, although he's claiming that they're in this open relationship thing, he still has to go home and attend to his wife, make sure she's safe and sound. And meanwhile, Issa and Daniel are in an act. And Daniel decides to release himself. And he releases himself in Issa's face. And Issa is mad. And she left out. And he was like, well, I didn't tell you to do it. Blah, 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 blah. And how could you do this? And yada, yada, yada. That was pretty much nasty. And so Issa's out waiting for her. She left Daniel's house. She's out waiting for her Uber like this. This girl got a napkin on her eye like she's injured. This is Issa. So anyway, she enters the Uber pool just like this. And then everybody look at her like this, and then she just takes it off. Nothing's there, no bruises, no juice, no nothing. And then it's a Uber pool, so it's Issa, a young lady, and a guy. And then the white girl in the car said, can we turn to a black? He said the driver said I gotta pick up another person, because this is Uber pool. And then she was saying, could you turn to a black station? And the show went off just like that. But I nearly died that Issa was literally standing outside waiting for Uber like this. So yeah. So taking a look ahead next week, like it's gonna be real interesting. Based off the previews, I guess Derek, that's Lauren's friend, that's Tiffany's husband, gonna have this big old birthday thing that's gonna go down. And looks like Issa and Lawrence both are going to be invited. So this is like the first time that they're going to be in the same room for an extended period of time. And it looks like Dro's wife is also going to be invited. So that's going to be interesting as well. They have made the announcement that Insecure has been green light to have season 3. Unfortunately, it's only going to be approved for another 8 episodes. Not sure if those episodes are going to move up to the 1 hour mark or they're going to stay at 30 minutes. But they did confirm that Insecure has been green light for season 3 for 8 episodes. That is it. That is all. I am dog tired. Long weekend. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. Peace.